The NFL draft wrapped up yesterday, and I took a day to digest all the picks and trades, and I come to you now with a concrete grade on how your team did today. Let's move on to the NFC North, because this might be the most controversial division, because they had some things happen. They just had some things happen. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings first. They didn't trade out of pick 24. They wanted Donovan Jackson. They sat back and was like, no, we want our player. The Houston Texans apparently wanted Donovan Jackson as well. The minute the Vikings took him, the Texans traded back. But to be fair, also the Giants, we knew the Giants were kind of lurking, trying to move up to go and get Jackson Dart. So who's to say that the Texans wouldn't make that trade anyway? Because the Giants did overpay a little bit, but then again, you kind of had to when everyone knows it's a quarterback, so the price tag is going to be a little bit heavier. But also with Atlanta sitting there and wanting to move back into the first, it just makes me wonder what offers were available there at 24. But they really like Donovan Jackson. I think he's going to be a really good guard. Injury happens at tackle, he can kick out to tackle. We saw him play really strong down the stretch there in the college football playoffs for Ohio State. So I like the player. I really would have wished to trade back, but then they really started to trade. So they traded 97 and a 6th rounder and acquired 102 and a 5th. So they turned a 6th into a 5th. They moved back and they get Ty Felton. Which, should we be worried about Jordan Addison? Is that a thing, or is this more of a competition at wide receiver 3 and 4? I like Felton a lot. This was a bit high for me, though. He's got really good speed, long frame that he needs to fill out a little bit more, but he's got some make you miss after the catch ability. So I like the player. I thought it was a little rich, a little high. We move to the 5th round, and they get Tyron Ingram Dawkins, edge / interior. He's a defensive lineman out of Georgia. Did they have to trade with that one? I don't think so. Again, they did a few trades here. Like they traded their 5th for 2 6th. Or they traded 172 for 201 and 202, which became Kobe Keene and Gavin Bartholomew. They also used a 5th to acquire, because I want to take into account some of the trades that they made in the offseason. Like they acquired Jordan Mason essentially for a 5th. I think that's a good pickup. Gives you a reason not to go running back in this class. They also acquired Sam Howell, but it was just a pick swap of 5th round picks for a backup quarterback. That's fine. But I really like the Ingram Dawkins play, because you get him on the team and you just find out, wait, what specifically is your role going to be here? Because we know you're already a really good athlete, a really good run stuffer who was trusted to play or wear a lot of hats there at Georgia. So I'm kind of okay with that. Kobe Keene, he's a hard-hitting linebacker, kind of is what it is. Gavin Bartholomew, I get it. I get taking him from a athletic upside, but his tape was really hit or miss. But I'm talking about guys that they picked at 201 and 202, so I'm not too mad at it. I do wish they did more with trades. I wish they addressed the corner position. I wish they didn't take Felton higher than where I had him. I wish they maybe did trade out at 24. And if you do miss out on Donovan Jackson, it kind of is what it is. I know some people were like, well, that's the player that they wanted. It's great value. It's like, well, get in an extra 3rd along with an extra 3rd this year, along with as well as a 3rd next year. Presents to me maybe more value, because you get more shots at the NFL draft. So at the end of the day, they had some fine players, but Again, largely, I didn't like the process. I love Donovan Jackson. I think that's really the only immediate player they got that could make an impact on this Super Bowl roster. And even saying maybe they got players for the future, I got some reservations about that. I love Ty Felton. I really like Tyron Ingram Dawkins, but that's about it. Like, yeah, I can't give this too high of a grade. I'm going to go with the C. Just going to go with the C. Vikings fans, rip me a new one. I have a feeling the NFC North is going to do that to me. All right, where are we going? We're going to the Green Bay Packers. Let's go to the Packers. I love the Matthew Golden pick in the first round. Finally, it was their first time drafting a wide receiver in like 20 years. Good on you, Packers fans. I thought that was their best pick of the draft. And that's not to say I didn't like their next few picks. I like Anthony Belton. Could be tackle. They list him here as a potential guard. To me, it doesn't make sense. I think they should have been going for a tackle. And Belton's got tackle size. So I think he might be the tackle of the future, as you have Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker up on contract next year. So I like the Belton pick, even if it was a little higher than where I had him. Savion Williams, you double dip at wide receiver. You're taking a shot at a guy who largely wasn't uberly productive as a wide receiver in college. I get it. He's big. He runs fast. But, I mean, I guess, hey, with Watson out, we need a guy that can fill that role. And I think Williams probably could do that. But I did love the Williams pick. I just didn't. Moving to the fourth round, Baron Sorrell. It was so cool to see that he was at the draft and he gets drafted by the Packers. That's phenomenal. I think he works in as maybe an early down run stuffer, maybe pass blocker. Did I say pass blocker? Pass rusher. He does a lot of things well. He comes off the board here at 124. I had him at 147, so it's not like an insane jump. I'm okay with that. And then we get to their mid to late day 3 picks. Colin Oliver, he's a tweener, so it was hard for me to be in on him, but they went after guys that could rush the passer. Cool, I guess. Warren Brinson is a very fine defensive lineman for Georgia. I had him in the 6th, 7th round range. He goes in the 6th round. Cool. I didn't watch Micah Robinson, corner out Tulane. Watched Caleb Bransaw. Didn't watch Robinson, but this is pick 237. Speaking of which, I didn't watch John Williams because I largely heard he was probably projected as being a free agent, UDFA, and that his tape is very, very up and very down. It's very dicey. So I ended up deciding, okay, I gotta cut the list on guys that I can watch because I'm running out of time. Williams made that cut, but he ends up being drafted, and good for him. Man, like, I like aspects of this draft. I just don't love it. I'm just not in love with it, and I'm gonna give it a B-. The Matthew Golden pick is goated. Anthony Belton I like. I can understand Williams. Sorrell I think is solid, and then for me, Colin Oliver, it's a bit too much for me. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with a B-. Oh gosh, let's talk about the Detroit Lions, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I get it. Brad Holmes has been money, and I mean freaking money, when it comes to the draft. He has made many of us eat crow based on his process, his hit success. And this is the thing. I like the players that he drafted. I like it. Maybe aside from Isaac Tesla, which I get why it goes that high. It's still high for me. I'd rather have taken that shot on day 3, but like who you like. Because aside from that, I love all of their picks. Talik Williams. might not be a sexy pick, but high floor player. You got DJ Reader on the final year of his deal. You have Levi Wazarike here on a 1-year deal. Aleem McNeil is going to miss the early part of the first half of the season as he recovers. Williams makes sense not just right now, but also down the line. And maybe being on a line with Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, you can tap into that pass rush potential. It's just not there yet. All in all, Ohio State doesn't do a great job of developing their interior pass rushers. They just don't. High ceiling, best run defender. I'm okay. I like the Talik Williams pick. I think it is solid. I love the Tate Ratledge pick. You want to talk about solid? This is a guy that is very sound, better athlete than I thought. Like, I knew he was a good athlete, tested out as an elite athlete. Solid play strength, was a consistent part of that Georgia offensive line. I just didn't love the trade that they moved up 3 spots. It resulted in their 4th rounder becoming a 7th rounder. And it was a pick change of 100 picks from that 4th to that 7th rounder. I don't like that. So I was like, you know what? Okay, you paid a little extra to go get a guy that solidifies your line. I'm okay with it. If that was the one trade that was like, okay, I don't like the value of that trade, but you went go get your guy. That's fine. I'd be okay with it. Everything about this Tesla trade is terrible. It was, I think, the worst trade in the draft. They acquired pick 70. They had 2 6th-round picks. And they had to move up. This is with them moving up 32 spots, I think, because they traded pick 102. And it cost them 2/3 next year? Bruh. What does our trade draft chart look like? That is so outrageous. To me, that is so outrageous. Like, you were paying the price tag of what the Giants paid to get back into the first round. You might be like, well, it wasn't that big of a pick difference. They were moving back into the first round, a far more valuable round for a quarterback. Everyone and their mom knew it. And you essentially paid the same price tag? I don't like it. To me, that's objectively bad. And I'm not the highest dude on Tesla. There's not a lot of production. You're kind of banking on him being a better pro than college player. And I get it. It's easy to look at him and be like, oh, he's so big and long and fast. And I guess the report is, okay, we're going to really teach this guy how to play on the outside. Cool. Still high for me. So I didn't love that. And I was like, okay, that. And I'm going to be fair. That's two, in my opinion, bad trades. And traded up for a player that I didn't love. That kind of sank their draft class for me. And that's not even fair to say. That sunk their draft grade for me. Because I still like their class. Again, love Tate Ratledge. Really like Talik Williams. Miles Frazier. Huge steal. I had him at 82 on my big board. They get him at 171. Awesome. I love that. Ahmed Hassan signed. He's a Dan Campbell player. The minute you got this dude on the phone, I will die for this team. Dan Campbell, hell yeah. Come get your race car helmet. There you go. You got a very gritty edge. Keep in mind, he started playing football late in his career. He's originally from Egypt. Dan Jackson at 230, fine value. Another guy that plays with piss and vinegar, flies around, and was a walk-on at Georgia and never got a scholarship. It's the type of players you want on the team. Dominic Lovett, solid, consistent, security blanket there for Carson Beck when he was among an offense that did nothing but drop the ball for him. Okay, cool. Like, again, I like the players in this draft class. Just the trade sucked and Tesla felt really high. Despite all that, I'm going to give it a C+. And I could see Vikings fans already flipping their crap. I'm sorry, Vikings fans. The Lions got more players that I like than you did. It's basically how it goes. I may have hated their trades, but it is what it is. Lions fans, they're going to clap back in the comment section. I don't know, like, if you're a Lions fan and you liked those trades, not because of the players you got, but tell me, in all honesty, how does that value work out? And I get it when it comes to two trades. Teams from year to year will have different value when it comes to draft picks and just trade value in general. It doesn't only vary from year to year, but from team to team. Teams are doing their own analytics on what should be the necessary compensation for some of these picks and players. So we're just living in a world where we're trying to make sense of it. So I don't know. I think just Detroit may have valued their future picks not enough. But I'm done talking about the Lions. Lions are still going to be good. I ain't mad at it. They've drafted players I like. I'm really not mad at it. So, like, hey, screw what this guy says, right? Let's talk about the Chicago Bears, the final team of the division here. They grabbed Colson Loveland at pick 10. He's the first tight end off the board. I've talked about tight end potentially going here. Colson Loveland actually does make more sense than Tyler Warren. If you're going to play more 12 personnel, you're kind of getting a Sam Laporta type. Colson Loveland, I can't really think you could argue that he's got a higher ceiling as a receiver than Tyler Warren. So it's not that shocking. I heard quite a few people had Loveland ahead of Warren. So it didn't shock me all that much. I'm okay with the pick at 10. Oh, I had to get some of that coffee, baby. When it comes to pick 39, first pick in the second round, home run, Luther Burden. If this was 2023 Luther Burden, we'd be talking about him as a top 10, top 15 pick. It was kind of weird this year. I still think that 2023 version is there. The Bears getting him at 39, home run, exceptional value. Ozzy Trapillo at pick 56. If you didn't know, they actually traded back. They acquired pick 56, pick 62, because this is a trade with the Bills, and a fourth for their pick 41, their third round pick, which was 72, right? I think it was like 72. May have been 71, but also a third. So they turned a seventh into a fourth, and they turned 72 into 62, moving back 15 spots. So it's a good trade. I think it works for all parties. They move back. They get Trapillo. Could be their tackle of the future. He might battle it out there with Kieran Amagaji. You're just kind of hoping one of those guys enables you not to pay Braxton Jones. That's how I see it. And then I think they let Dennis Allen take control of the draft because I didn't love their next few picks. So they get Shamar Turner at pick 62, and I get it. Other analysts, other draft minds liked Shamar Turner much more than I did. I get it. I can recognize it. Maybe I'm just wrong about the player. He was a tough eval this year considering he played through a stress fracture in his foot. But even then, coming into the year, I viewed him as a third, fourth round player. I'm just not the biggest Turner fan. So to me, Turner felt like a reach, but I can understand people that liked him are okay with him here. Also, from Dennis Allen's alma mater, Texas A&M. So there you go. Let's talk about the fourth round pick because I like what they did here when it came to the trade. So if you remember, they traded back. The Bills moved up and gave them an extra second rounder, or at least turned that third into a second rounder. So the Bills come a knocking for pick 109. This was the pick the Bills traded to the Bears. And now the Bills are back like, hey, we want that pick back. So the Bears are able to pick up an extra, what was it, a fifth? They picked up a, oh, no. So they moved back. Yeah, it was, okay, they picked up a fifth. So they moved back about 23 spots and they pick up an extra fifth. So I just love that. The Bills, they wanted to move up in the day 2. There you are, Bears. You trade with them, and now they're here back in the 4th round. Like, hey, we want that pick back. I thought it was funny. The Bears grab Ruben Hypolite, I believe is how you say it, out of Maryland, linebacker. Didn't watch his film. I saw that he tested out like a freak, though. I've heard some good things about him. I think I gave him a priority free agent grade since he does look very athletically gifted, and I just didn't write a full eval for him. So does this feel like a reach? A little bit, but I get that you're kind of rolling the dice on a very athletic player. So, okay, cool. I mean, if anything, I'm still laughing about the Bills trade. Then we go to Za Frazier, corner out of UTSA. I think that's a nice option to develop. He's got good length and good speed. I believe, was this the pick they traded back? No, it's this next one. So Luke Newman. So originally the Bears had pick 148, and then they moved back to pick 195, but they get a 4th rounder next year. So I think they're doing a good job of acquiring some of these picks and being able to get extra draft capital. They get Luke Newman, offensive tackle out of Michigan State, formerly of James Madison, I believe, or was it Holy Cross? I think it was Holy Cross. I can't recall. I didn't watch enough on Newman. I saw him in passing really when watching the Michigan State running backs, excuse me. But again, Newman, I didn't write down an eval for. You're taking a shot at a guy at 195. I ain't mad. Kyle Monunga is freaking phenomenal value. And people were wondering, when are the Bears going to take their running back? And I remember that I did a 7-round mock for the NFC North. And I ended up not taking a running back until late. And Bears fans hated it. Your Bears did the same thing. They took a very violent running back in Kyle Monunga out of Rutgers to pair up there with DeAndre Swift, excuse me. So I think this is a good move. Overall, it's a solid draft. Things got a little dicey, a little hairy here with Shamar Turner and our boy Ruben. But I'm going to give it a solid B. I think that's fair. And I think that actually means the Bears had the highest grade in the NFC North when it came to these draft classes. Good on you, Bears. Honestly, I do like the draft. It was a good first draft for Ben Johnson, even if things got a little bit hairy here and there.